I just don't even think Riot understands what the problem is. I don't even know if this is gonna fix anything. One of the benefits of being part of the League Partner Program is that I get to learn things just a little bit earlier than most people. Yes, I am special. And it looks like Riot Games is finally looking to implement a more harsh punishment policy for AFKs and inters in League of Legends. If you like this kind of content where we talk about upcoming changes of the game, have you ever thought about liking and subscribing? So right now we sort of have in place like a queue delay system when you do AFK and the AFK buster goes off, that you get put into a queue that you have to wait 5 additional minutes or something like that in order to actually queue up. And it looks like they're changing things and adding a little bit more harsh punishment. So just going through this document here, a new penalty type. So up until now we've penalized AFKing with queue delays. Queue delays are a speed bump on offending players on their way to the next few games. Upon clicking the play button, the queue blocks them behind a short timer. So the purpose of this is to change behavior if someone who wants to go AFK gets to experience what it's like to have their time wasted, which I, to be honest, think it's not a bad thing, right? If you do AFK purposely in a game, you then have to wait and have your own time wasted before you get into another game. That's perfectly fine. Now, what they're changing here is they're actually implementing a new system, which is called queue lockout, to go on top of queue delay. So what are queue lockups, we're probably wondering. Now, these are apparently like mega delays. When a player experiences a queue lockout, they'll get a pop-up displayed explaining their punishment and will be unable to start games in MOBA queues. So when issuing a queue lockout, we're not saying, hey, doesn't it suck to have your time wasted? We're moving the player from the population for a while. That is a terrifying phrase to come from Riot Games. Sorry, Thanos. But in terms of this, like the queue lockout system, so what basically happens is they've got a whole bunch of different tiers. So in these tiers, as you can see, tier 0, you don't have a queue lockout, you don't have any queue delay. But then when you start moving up these tiers, you're in tier 1, you get a 5-minute delay in your queue timer for 5 games. And then you get to tier 2, you have a 10-minute, 15-minute for tier 3, and then they're adding 4 additional tiers, tier 4 through 7. So in terms of the other tiers, each one of them has a 15-minute delay timer for the queue timer delay for 5 full games. But also for tier 4, you get a 1-day queue lockout, so you can't queue up for games for 1 whole day. Tier 5, 3 whole days. Tier 6, 7 days. And tier 7, 14 whole days. A whole 2 weeks where you cannot queue up for a MOBA game. Now, I think that that's interesting. You can't really just like wait these games out, and it even says the tier level is not a time-based system, so you can't just take a break from League and it'll all just go away. You have to actually play those 5 games out with that delay, which is definitely a good system that they have in place. But you know, when they're talking about different behaviors, like it is kind of an issue. So they say these changes enabled us to create queue lockouts, since it means we have a higher certainty that a player at a high AFK tier is actually being consistently disruptive and isn't just stuck there for some other reason, like intermittent connectivity issues, which are particularly common in some areas. Like it's tough. Like the thing that I'm wondering, we've even talked about this in the League Partner Program Discord, is that do you believe that this will actually solve the problem? Because a lot of people are already reaching out and saying that AFKing, like disconnecting and things like that, isn't actually that big of a problem. The biggest problem that we have in this game are people who sell all their items or run it down a lane or decide that they don't want to play the game anymore, don't join up with their teams, and hold people hostage in their queues. So this doesn't really pick up on that issue. And there's got to be some sort of change that occurs that we can actually pick up on those players who are holding 4 other people hostage in a game that they don't want to play and that they don't want to win. And then they should have punishments associated with that behavior. Now, I'm not saying that this is a bad thing. I believe that the queue lockout is actually a great thing. If you're going to remove an entire account for 14 days, knowing that they have been AFKing in a multitude of games, I think that's great. It's an additional punishment that we didn't have in the past, and maybe will make some people rethink AFKing in a game. But I think people have gotten very good at not AFKing, but AFKing in their own way that doesn't get the AFK leave buster going, that I don't know if this is really going to be that big of a change in the punishment system that Riot's kind of putting forward. I'd love to know your thoughts on this as well. Do you guys think that this is the right punishment system for AFKers? Is this the right way to do things? Will they stop inters and stop feeders and things like that from ruining your games? Are they at least on the right track by implementing a new punishment system? In my opinion, this is a good thing. At least it's a harsher punishment for people who do AFK, but I don't think that this remotely even scratches the surface of the punishment system that Riot needs to implement in order to make this game even remotely playable in Season 11. So hopefully we're going to see something else come up that has more of a detection-based thing, or maybe the report system that could be a little bit better, or maybe even, I don't know, bringing back the tribunal so we could actually look at these games and go, well, that person definitely deserves to be banned for 14 days. So once again, let me know in the comments section below what you think about this whole queue lockout and queue delay system that they're implementing here. I'm not entirely sure when this is planning on coming live. Yeah, so it looks like at the bottom for the looking forward thing, it is going to be tested out in a few different regions prior to actually making it a worldwide thing. And they do comment on the fact that they're going to be looking into other issues like not enough ability to come back from behind, inability to deal with other disruptive behavior in game, and connectivity issues. So they are looking into this. I'm glad at least it's a step in the right direction for Riot Games to be looking into this as a problem, because right now it is a problem that is ruining their game. So let me know in the comment section below what you guys think about this new punishment system with the queue lockouts. Be sure to also hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and get the notification bell on if you do enjoy these videos. And as always, my name is Twigger, and I will see you all in the next video.